G'day guys, Paul here from Get Going. Back out on the trail this week doing something a little different, a bit of military style. Had a subscriber send me an MRE, which is a meal ready to eat, that's designated to the armies and so forth, 24-hour ration pack. So we're going to go out today, test that out. I've got a little tarp, a little HOOTCHIE tarp, Australian style army tarp as well. It's only about a 2x2 metre little tarp. They're going to camp on the ground under that guy, a little bit of military style camping as I said. And we'll see how we get on. We'll have a small campfire. I'm just coming up a ridgeline here now. So once again, similar to military in that I'm not going to camp down the river. The Clarence River's down below me here, down over the ridge line. So we're going to camp up nice and warm up on the ridge, out of the wind. There's a little bit of breeze and so forth. And set up for the night. Try out these MREs and see what you think of those as food for a hiking weekend. Come along and join me. I hope you enjoy it. Well, this is the MRE. It's called a Hunger Buster 24-hour ration pack. Portion foods. This one in particular is butter chicken, I believe. So I think we'll open this guy up and see what's inside. Okay, let's see what we got here. Instant mashed potato. Have that for dinner. What's this little guy? Coffee. Bit of a sorting here, I think. Coffee for dinner. Breakfast, I should say. What else have we got? Instruction manual. Butter chicken. That's that guy for dinner. Keep him there. Woohoo! M&M's. We'll have those for lunch. What do we got here? Classic Ben tea. Hot chocolate. Keep those over there for later. We got a steak bar. We'll have that for lunch as well. What else we got? Biscuit jam sandwich. That might be dessert tonight. We'll put that with the dinner. Cream cracker. Similar scenario, maybe afternoon tea. What else have we got? Whole grain cereal bar with seeds, including chai. Okay. Maybe afternoon tea. Spoon to mix things with. We've got this sweetened condensed milk. Absolutely love that stuff. Awesome. That can go over with the coffees and the teas. What else have we got here? Natural muesli with fruit and seeds. That'll be our breakfast. Lovely. A cereal bar, apricot. Maybe get that for tomorrow morning on the way out. And tomato soup. Might even do that for lunch. We'll see how we go. And then a whole lot of stuff down the bottom here. What have we got? Creamer, don't use that. Salt, antiseptic wipes, we'll use those. Get those for dinner. What's this guy? Ah, sports energy drink. That'll be good on the way out tomorrow, so we'll keep that for tomorrow. Creamer, as I said, don't use that. Pepper, we'll use that for dinner. Thank you. What's this guy? Sugar cane? Nope, don't use sugar. Nope, don't use sugar. Ball fruit bar tropical. Might have that for lunch as well. And some raspberry jam. That's probably to have on, I'd say, the biscuit sandwich, jam sandwich maybe, or the cream cracker. Not sure what we'll do with that guy, but anyway, we'll keep him. So there you go. That's a lot of food. That's a lot more food than I would normally take, that's for sure. Well, there's not a whole lot of room under this tarp, I have to say. That'll do for the night. Little steak bar. Chewy, but very, very good. Well, I think it might be time for an ale. We've got a Zytho Brewing Velvet Lux Stout, which would be lovely. It's supposed to be a nice cool night tonight, get down to about 7 degrees Celsius, so I figured a stout might be the order of the day. I have to say this little tarp works quite well. As I said, it's only a small one. Obviously you've got to get tucked underneath it, and I might actually remove the sticks tonight and then pull the front down as well, just to keep the wind out. But overall, it's got plenty of room. There's enough room in there certainly to set up and get out of the rain if you had to. Cheers, guys. Ooh, that's very nice. Lovely. Yeah, I've just been going through the MRE, and it's very good, but it's very sweet. Most of the food, probably 90% of the food, is sweet based, so not much in the way of savoury stuff. I'm just thinking that I might have a cleansing ale and some savoury crackers or something like that, but yeah, not much in the way of that. It's probably 80-90% sweet foods, sweet jam crackers and fruit bars, muesli bars, all that type of stuff, which is great during the day. You know, I got it, you know, when they're obviously, if you're an army guy and you're hauling another 20 or 30 kilos of ammunition and everything else on the back, as well as your camping equipment and so forth, you want lots and lots of energy for the day. But yeah, outside of maybe something like tomato soup, and then obviously the main meal with the mashed potatoes and rice and butter chicken, there's not a lot of savoury food. So my personal taste, I'd probably swing a bit more savoury side. I'd probably bring more crackers on the savoury side of things and so forth, but overall pretty happy with it. I'll be interested to see how this meal goes tonight. Camp's well and truly set up. We've got enough campfire here, similar to what the army guys would do if they had a fire, of course. Nice and small, just nice and compact. We're just in a nice little clearing up the top of a ridge line here, out of the wind. There's a few clouds around. It's supposed to be nice and dry over the next 24 hours, so hopefully that'll hold out. And in about 10 or 15 minutes time, once the light just starts to go down a bit, we'll get the fire going. I don't want to alert any of the people in the local mountains or area and so forth that there might be a bushfire, so I'll wait till it's a little bit darker, and then we'll get the small campfire going, and we'll cook up this meal and see how that tastes. Well, it's starting to slowly get dark, but I think what we might do is actually eat dinner. Just got one of these little Esbit stove, or hexamine stoves, as the guys in the UK call them. The army style thing. What we might do is just put that in there, cook on a little hexamine stove, heat it up, have dinner while we can still see, and then we can have a cup of tea and a bit of dessert once the sun goes down. We'll get this fire going in front of us here, keep ourselves warm. So let's get this all set up. Gotta wonder how many guys out on patrols have used one of these little stoves to cook their dinner. It'd be interesting to understand that. All the years, these things have been around, army surplus, since I was a kid. When I was a young guy, my brother and I were talking about that just recently. In fact, when we were kids, everything was army surplus. There was none of these hiking stores, there was no outdoor stores and so forth as such. The only thing we had was sports stores or army disposal stores. And of course, one of that stuff was these types of green bottles, the old army bottles, little Lesbit stoves. Anything the army wasn't using anymore. That's actually quite amazingly good, I must admit. Haven't used one of these since, I don't know how long. Long time. So anywho, the deal is with these guys, the MRE is, we've got the little butter chicken pack in there. You've got to put in water, bring that to the boil and wait for 6 minutes for it to heat up. Then you just eat it out of the pack. As I said, it's already cooked. So all you really got to do is heat it up. I have seen in other MREs and so forth, particularly the American ones and stuff out of NATO and so forth, they actually have the chemical pack that you can actually get as well. I've seen on different sites in Australia and so forth, you can actually get the actual chemical packs as well from survival supplies and people like that. But in this particular case, we've got this old Esbit stove that I've been carrying around for years. Haven't used it for a long time. In fact, this one particularly has never been used. But it's always in the pack just as an emergency, so I thought, why not? That's what the army guys use in emergencies. I'm not sure what they use the rest of the time. I have seen guys using everything from the jet boils and so forth in their packs. But I would assume, if you want to be quiet, stealthy like this, where you don't want to draw any attention to yourself, use something as simple as this. So we'll see how it gets on. All right, let's try this guy out. So then spread the bottom out here. Open her up. Let's see what we got. Ooh. Oh, I have to say that smells very good. Give it a quick stir, make sure there's no coal patches. That is actually very good. And perfect temperature. Yum. And a bit spicy, I'll be honest. Might add in a bit of salt. It's a little bit saltless. I don't know about you guys, but I like salt a lot. I don't like these modern cuisine where they're trying to make it healthy and reducing the amount of salt. I don't think it makes it healthier at all. It just removes a lot of the flavour. So, really good. I would definitely have this again. No problem at all. As far as a ready-to-eat meal, this is absolutely excellent. You would not cook, well certainly I wouldn't cook much better than this at home, I must admit. Very nice. Well, for dessert we've got a jam sandwich or a cream cracker. No idea what a cream cracker is, so we might try the jam sandwich. Might get this fire going later on. We'll have a cup of tea. Ah, yes, these are lovely. And then before we go to bed, we might have a hot chocolate. Very impressed with that dinner, I must admit. Yum. So you may have been wondering where I've been for the last few months. Like a lot of YouTubers, it's very difficult to, over time, keep up the number of videos you're making and the ability to get out constantly and so forth. So eventually life does catch up with you. We've also had the issue here, as I mentioned many times, of course, in Queensland with the weather and so forth. Hasn't been the best. We should be having a much drier autumn, but it's been a very wet autumn this year and a very windy autumn. So for all those, once again, that are the canoe enthusiasts that watched my channel from way back, I'm still waiting for all the waters just to calm down, get out on a lake, get out on a river, whatever it might be, and get back out camping again. So this is the first weekend where it hasn't been raining. Last weekend, of course, the smoke gets in the way. 100% chance of rain and 15 millimeters of rain, so you stay home. So, but this weekend, no rain, no wind, perfect night for camping. So the intention is to still get out as often as possible, but of course we have to balance that with reality. If you can't get out, you can't get out. So, typical of the smoke. You just have to go with what you can do. But it isn't something I stress about, I must admit. Watching these clouds moving over, just beautiful. It's very interesting when you first start a channel. You want to get the channel off the ground and you're trying to do your best to get out as often as possible and make as many videos and get everyone fired up about your channel and so forth. But then over time you start to realise, hang about, I'm doing this for all the wrong reasons. I'm actually doing this because I like camping, not because I like making videos. And you got to adjust your focus back to actually just going out camping and not saying, well, I've got to go out because I've got to make a video. And that's I think a bit of a trap we all fall into in the YouTube world if you become a creator, is that you fall into the trap of, oh, I've got to get a video, oh, I've got to make a video, oh, I've got to make a video. And as I said, that's not the best place to be. You've really got to sit back and say, no, what are you actually making videos for? I'm not just here to be a video creator, I'm here to actually go camping. So if I get to go camping, you guys get to come along as well and share that. So yeah, it's just, as I said, you just sort of adjust your needle back a little bit and say, okay, stop focusing on the videos and focus on going camping when you want to go camping, when it suits you, and going to the right places and actually enjoying yourself. And that's actually a good place to be. So yeah, very nice to get back out again. Perfect night for camping, lovely and cool. It's going to get down, as I said, to about 6 degrees tonight, which would be great. Brought a nice big down sleeping bag with me. We'll tuck in under the tarp here, should be fine. We're away from all maddening crowds and people, got the place to ourselves, just perfect. Well, some of this sweetened condensed milk. Normally, once again, not a sugar person, but I do normally have a little bit of milk, so add a bit of this. See how that goes down? It's certainly beautiful stuff. Ah, very nice. Not sure if I mentioned it earlier or not, but one thing it does do, these MREs, it makes it easy to pack food, that's for sure. Don't have to worry about menus and snacks and all that sort of business, tea bags and coffee and everything. It's just all in the bag, so. Not bad. All right, cream crackers, absolutely no idea. What have we got? cream crackers? That's just a dry cracker. That's the savoury food I was looking for to have with my beer. Bugger. That's what you have with the jam that came in the actual pack itself, I would suggest. You should have that with the crackers. Or you can just have them plain and savoury. I don't know if they're cream. No. That's not a cream cracker, that's just a cracker. Nice crackers. But that would have gone down a treat with that stout. Well, we know for the future, don't we? Still nice. One thing I don't mention very often on my channel is if you want to support the channel other than subscribing and commenting and hitting the like button and so forth, I do have links to all my products that I use in my camps, all these tarps and camera gear and all that sort of stuff, and backpacks and tents and sleeping bags, and all the gear that I use is all on affiliate links, mostly focused around Australia, I'll admit. If you're interested in supporting the channel with an affiliate link, if you don't know what that is, it just simply means that someone like Amazon allows me to sell products or forward people products to their platform, and then they give me a percentage of that. So it doesn't cost you anymore, you pay the same price, but I just get a little clip along the way, help support the channel, generate a bit of revenue and so forth. Looking to upgrade my camera gear this year. I do want to get a some sort of DSLR, mainly just for having a zoom lens and so forth, and a wide angle lens, and do a bit more photography, which I used to do years ago as well. But the ads are now generating money, which is good. So once again, that'll get pushed back into the channel, allow me to pay for fuel and equipment and so forth. So yeah, if you ever want to support the channel, that's a great way to do it. If you've not seen the products in your country, send me a link to the actual product itself, or tell me the product in your country. I'll create the link, put it back up on my list. So the description on every single video I put up, it's all in the description there. You just got to dial down on your phone or your laptop or your computer or your TV, and you'll see the links there into the actual products themselves. Really do appreciate everyone's support on the channel, all the subscribers and likes and the wonderful comments. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Absolutely wonderful. It's nice to have a community now that we're building around what it is we do and where we go and so forth. I had a gentleman this morning who was talking about canoes, and he watched my smaller is better canoe, and he said, I'm still confused, still not sure what to buy. There's so many comments and so many variances of what you need to do and so forth. So I was able to get back to him and just give him a few I suppose, tips on how to narrow it down as far as canoe selection is concerned. That really comes down to what you're going to carry, how often you're going to go and so forth. It's no use buying an $8,000 super light Campfire canoe if you're only going once a year. So yeah, it's one of the things I always wanted to develop was a community around what I do, around camping and hiking and canoeing and fishing, and what I call minimalist hiking as well. Minimal amount of gear. Really something small like this is just absolutely perfect. Anyway, I'm going to have this cup of tea and toddle off to bed. And I'll see you good folks in the morning. Well, good morning folks. We're going up to a very, very cool morning. Lovely and still, beautiful sunshine. Crows are talking. Very happy to be up on the ridgeline here this morning. I had a look over the valley in front of me here. It's all covered in fog. It would be absolutely arctic down there. You would most likely have icicles on your tents and so forth, tarps. So yeah, very happy to be up here. We got a bit of dew overnight, but that's all right. That'll dry off pretty quick. Just cleaning our hands, have some breakfast. The coffee satchel is tiny. I'm a big coffee drinker, so normally I would have like 4 of those in a coffee, 2 or 3 teaspoons. But anyway, what we've done, mate, added a bit of hot chocolate as well. We'll have a mocha for breakfast. We'll try out this muesli. Reading through the instructions last night, and they have all the ingredients of all the different variations they have of food products, and one of the actual mueslis they put in dried milk powder as well, and I thought that'd be an absolute boom, because then you can add some water. It says you can add some water to this one as well, but with the milk powder, just make it nice and milky and creamy, and that would be very, very nice. But we will add a bit of, as I said, a bit of water to this one anyway, just to warm it up and to help dehydrate some of the fruit that's inside it and so forth. And hopefully that'll be very enjoyable. I have to say I slept particularly well last night. The sleeping bag kept me absolutely beautiful and warm, balmy. Can't complain at all about that. Ooh, a little bit hot. So yeah, that was really good. Just pull the hood up over my head, keep my head warm. Just keep a little bit of space around my face to breathe, but yeah, really, really good. Can't complain at all. Very nice sleep. Lovely and warm. I've not used these little Nesbits or hexadine stoves for years, and it's actually remarkably good, I must admit. Particularly if it's only supposed to be an emergency stove. Can't complain at all. Waiting for the tarp on the ground sheet to dry, pack them into the pack, and we can head off for the day, do a bit of exploring down around the riverbed this morning. We might go and have a bit of a look. It's the Clarence River. It's an absolutely stunning river. I've camped on it a couple of times now. Once at Paddy's Flat, and another time where I actually did the actual canoe trip, which was end up being an epic fail, but that was good fun anyway. But yeah, this has been a great little camp spot, I must admit. Nice up here on the little plateau on top of the ridge. Lovely and quiet. As you can probably tell, not a breath of wind, just a beautiful sunlit morning. I can't really complain. All right, let's head down to this river. As I say, very happy with this camp on the ridgeline here. Absolutely stunning morning, not a breath of wind. It was quite windy here when I turned up yesterday, but now it's just beautiful. Tell you what, it's a beautiful river. Cannot fault that. Just stunning piece of waterway. Well, I think we'll call that a wrap, guys. Thanks for joining me on this little trip. Really great camping up on that ridgeline. The MREs are definitely a follow-up. I will definitely do more of those. Any of you guys that have tried the MREs, I'd be very interested in trying for different countries, different styles and so forth. That one was mostly New Zealand content, I noticed. All the actual food products that come from New Zealand, so it's not an Australian Army one per se. But I'd love to try one of those as well. So if any of you guys got any recommendations around those meals ready to eat from the Army, from the military, would love to know more. But thanks for joining me on this adventure. I'll see you all hopefully in a fortnight's time. Bye for now.